One, I appreciate you for having me here. I'm really excited to be here again. I'm Roy, and I'm the founder of Demic LSC. LegacyLink is the first alumni first platform designed to help new generation of graduates reconnect with their purpose and give back to the alma mater. And so that really is the extent of what we do. And that is the most important part. New generation of students, they want new opportunities and a better way to give back to their institutions. I think for the best way to answer this question is that any time where someone has a desire to want to give back to their institutions and or create legacy for themselves, it's always the right time. And I think more importantly now, more than ever, what we are seeing is that there's a new generation of graduates that are graduating from schools, and they have a desire to want to give back to their institutions and the traditional models as they are now. While they do work, it could be better. And so I'm thinking about the new generation of students that are looking for better and more transparent ways of being able to give back and really be able to own their experience and own their legacy. And so to reiterate, there's always a good time, and now is the best time, and we are solving. So right now, one of the milestones is one to get the first users, and that's going to be kind of through my connection, my immediate group of people. I've already been hinting at people with my friends that, hey, it's coming, it's coming. And so my first goal is to get my first 100 alumni to sign up and create profiles. And so that's the first milestone. And I think that it is big enough where it's not too daunting, but still small enough that it feels like we can get some traction going. And from the 100 that we get, hopefully it's even more, we actually get some feedback and immediate opportunities for students who are interested in pledging. And by students, I mean alumni. And so that would be the first milestone. From there, as the traction continues to grow and we continue to iterate the process, the next milestone would hopefully be securing my first pledge from alumni that says that they're interested in creating a scholarship and or engaging back with their institution. And then the third and final milestone would be my first contract deal with the institution that's looking to market on my platform. So those would be the top three. That is a really good question. And that actually brings me back in February where I first shared the idea, even though it's been so long. I had a clear vision, I had an idea, a model that I was looking for. And even with that first presentation that I gave it was a startup weekend with Techstars, and I didn't have the graphic skills or the technical skills to really show a mock-up, so I just sketched something out that at least I hope got the idea across, and it at least got some traction. However, I think the biggest drawback was not something that I could actually show this is what it will look like, even at its basic place, beyond just my sketches. And I used to sketch back in the day, but I didn't have the technical skills to be able to build a working prototype, something that can show and show movements. And so being able to translate that into a tangible user-centered product was the biggest challenge for me. And I needed someone to be able to help me see that part come to vision. I would say technically back then. I don't think it doesn't take, money or finances to be able to sketch something. But I think in this day and age, people want to see something a little bit more concrete. And I think even being able to show that there was a technical component to it, even if it is just a prototype, it shows that there's an investment, whether it came from me or just even someone like your group in MeltStudio that said, you know what, this is something that would be worth investing our time into, even for this prototype phase, that at least there's something here. And so I think all the intangibles really began to line up from that point of view. That's a really good question. And I think for me, when I first gave the idea, I had a different vision on how I wanted to market and or create the product in and of itself, what Legacy Link is. And I think from the sketches, it was only just for me. However, I think for this technology component, it actually made me think about things completely different, right? And so meeting with your team and thinking about the technical components of what does it actually look like as a user to get it in front of somebody, I started thinking about things that I otherwise was not thinking about. And so the onboarding and then what it's looked like to flow from one page to the next. And just the practice of alone of thinking about it from the technical standpoint, it actually, I would say, evolved my business plan and my product over time, while at the same time learning from you all from the technical aspect. It changed how I thought about the processes in place. And it actually even helped me find a business model to then find everything else after that. And even helped me find my users, because I thought the users was one group, but it turned out to be another group. And so I think, the blockers began to leave or to be lifted, I guess is a better way to say it, when I started getting to the technical aspects. Even not being a technical person myself, I can understand the narrative and the things that come with the technical side mirrored with my vision. So that would be the best way I can answer that. I would say when I did my Googling and figured out how long it takes to build a prototype, I thought it would have been over a year from February, right? So when I first had the idea and I started thinking, I was like, okay, well, I need an app or something. At least a year and a half, one to find the team and then find someone that's able, then also thinking about raising capital in order to be able to fund these, at least a year, if not more. And so to be able to have started this conversation with you all and in just 4 weeks, be able to see something that quick, completely, I don't even know how to best describe it, but completely shattered what I thought was going to be real. And so my timeline was much longer than what you all made it possible. To be honest, it was absolutely amazing. I think what I remember most is that on every call, on every communication, I knew where I was going. And this is not me just saying it just to say it. You all made sure that I knew where I was going in the next few weeks. This is what the milestones are. These are the goals. And then most importantly, everyone always asks, how are you doing? Like that was the first thing that anyone said. It wasn't, all right, let's get to the meeting. Let's have our agenda items. It was, how are you doing, Roy? Are you having a good time? How's your week been? Are you looking forward to anything? I appreciated that human touch. And my experience, bar none, has been not only was this my first time working with a technical team such as you all, but then what you all bring to the table, it set a new standard for how I hope to be working with people in the future. And so I could not ask for a better experience. You all were extremely, extremely helpful, very communicative, very quick on everything, and made it clear that I did not feel like I was no longer by myself with this idea in my head, trying to bring it out to the world. So I couldn't say any more greater things for you all. They helped me see Um, they helped me on blind spots. I remember there was a specific question where they did what I asked, but then they said, "Hey, we did what you asked, but we think this could be done differently." And I was like, "Okay, well, let's. What are you thinking about?" And so it was something small, but it changed the entire thought process for me. And so something as far as, do we delete something or do we just take it offline so that it's still on? Now, without getting into the details of how that operates with the app, that completely changed the experience of what the user will see and even myself. And so I think what they helped clarify was, one, what's possible, what's not. Uh, the second thing would be, what's most priority as far as what am I looking for and how do I get it down to the most important things. And then three, this is how I can then use it and later on adapt later on. So not only was I getting solutions to my problems now, you all were also giving me solutions to things that I wasn't even thinking of. Then two, help me think about the user experience. And then later on, this what the next phase would be should we keep going beyond the portions. So not only was it present and future, it was everything in the past as well. I think what surprised me was, one, it went so well. Two, I was actually enjoying and learning. And also three, just how efficient and effective that you all were. Like, to be honest, I don't know how to describe it any better than just a simple time of, I have an idea, you all got it done like the next day. And it's like, hey, what do you think about this? And it was just like that quickly. It's like, okay, I hope I'm communicating the best that I can, my vision, and you all being able to see that from a technical standpoint. It's just how fast, how quickly those things were being implemented and then tested, and then obviously the feedback. And so I can't say it enough that, again, the runway that I thought I was going to be on was over a year, if not two or more. You all were just doing it so quickly, so fast, and actually doing it to like a level where I didn't have any feedback. Like, oh, you guys got it perfect. You all got it perfect. And I was like, okay, cool. And then being able to also, I think what surprised me was how open you all were to my feedback. And so even something as, hey, if you don't like something, let us know. I'm like, hey, I apologize if I'm typing too much or these are the things. I immediately got a response. No, that's what we want. We want to know every little thing that you're thinking of. And so that desire to really want to see me happy with what the outcome was certainly surprised me even more. Because, right, good customer service is good customer service, but there's a difference between good and great customer service. The first time the app was shown, and I'm sitting there, and then I remember Anna had asked me, "Hey, do you mind if we record this?" I'm like, "Okay, all right." I wonder if this is like a aha moment or something like that. And then I just remember her and the team just walking me through, and it was like this is real. Like I actually can see this working, and they're showing me the dashboards, and they're like, "You didn't even think, you didn't ask us to do this, but we did this anyway, and we hope you like it." And I'm watching, I'm like, "Holy smokes, this is even better than what I thought." So I think that was the a big surprise for me was being able to actually sit down and just see the vision, see something now tangible. Like that was like the big reveal, if that makes sense. And so yeah, that was like that was the coolest thing to me. And then it's like they're like, "Yeah, we're not done yet. There's still more that we're doing." It's like, wait, there's even more. I'm like, I thought you all would have been done right here, but no, that was just the first reveal, and then everything else from there on out was the biggest surprise. And so I think between that one being even selected for you all's program, that was a surprise. And I think even sometimes when you all asked me to ask you questions, I was like, "Hey, is this something that you all would use?" And you all were like, "I actually think we could use this. Like if this was you as a customer, like you all were like, I could see this being beneficial, obviously in different contexts and things like that." But all of it has been a surprise. But those were the top three moments, and I'm like, okay, this is a dope experience. I believe one, it gave me the confidence now. While you were focusing on that, I was able to then focus on the other areas that I'm more confident in, which is my narrative, making sure I'm meeting the right people, letting people know that something's coming. And I think for me now, my strategy is now that I have something that I can show, I'm more likely and more interested in reaching out to people saying, "Hey, I would love to get 5 minutes on your calendar and show you how this thing could benefit you." And so now I feel like if this was a year and a half runway that I thought it was going to be, you all have given me back more than 10 months of roadway. So anything that I do now, I'm still ahead of time. So with anything, I feel that now that I'm ahead, now I need to keep that momentum going and being able to go to each of my constituents and other people that I want to meet. It's something that I can put in front of somebody, show them how it works, and be able to write and say, "This is how it can solve your problem." And so, if anything, I'm just confident now, and hopefully, I'll be able to scale up. So here's the funny thing. So I shared with a couple people just on my phone and on different things. Actually, just before coming here, I sent it out to a couple of my friends, and so I told them not to use it yet. And so yes, my goal is for the rest of this week. I have timeline. I have scheduled emails and scheduled meetings. And so yes, by the time this time next week, yes, 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 on all the different things. And so, but yes, I have shared it with a couple of my friends for them to see it in real time, even prior to now. But I want it to be a nice big reveal when people can start coming in all at once. I want to feel I want to feel the rhythm of when people get it all at the same time. And so hopefully I'll reach that first 100 in the next couple of weeks. 100%. I do believe that. I think because even just with the prototype, it highlighted all the three pain points that I was able to do or identify through research. And just with the prototype as the first version as it is, it at least addresses all three of those points. So I'm in a position where not only can I start creating revenue from one portion, but then also immediately and seamlessly integrate other models as well, especially with the institutions. And so I think that with this model now, even just as it is, I'm sure if I would needed to, or if I could get into front of somebody, even when we got off this call, I believe I could show them this even without a user, and they would say, "All right, we're going to put some money into this and see where this goes." That's how confident I am. I would say the next 3 months is going to be prioritized for getting the alumni first. That is really at the bedrock of what I want to focus on is getting alumni on there and telling me what they think and what they need, because that's really what this platform is. As I mentioned first, this will be the first platform that is centering alumni for engagement back to the institutions, where others focus on the needs of the institutions. We think that that is wrong, and I want to center the experiences of the alumni first. And so that will be the first phase. Secondly, from there, actively showing the change and things that I'm getting from there, and hopefully be able to raise some capital, be able to continue to scale. I think even just for the small team that it is now, I think would be great to think about, okay, well, if this does scale up, how do I then begin to build a team around to help this build? And so possibly, I'm sorry, alumni, users, then raising some capital and hopefully be able to take on an additional member of the team that will help with the technical and logistics, things like that, and then continue to scale up as far as facilitating some of these meetings with the universities. I think the one thing that I need to do, honestly, and this is part of the plan, is just simply put it out there and let the market tell me what it needs. And I do have specific people that I will be sending specific invites to take a look. I do have identified those, and so then it's just a matter of sending those out and then getting the compliments and or the critics or the critiques back. And so that's the one thing I just need to get it out there so more people outside of my sphere of influence and you all know about it. Well, to be honest, you've actually just given me my action item to do as soon as we get done. I'm going to start my calendar plan a day early since I'm ahead of time. So I need to listen to my own words. And since I'm ahead of time, do not waste time not doing what I need to do. So that's my own checkpoint. And I appreciate you asking me that. And so I just need to get in front of folks and say, the biggest advice is be ready to give the same customer courtesy back to you all that is automatically going to be given to you as a person. And I hope that sounds the way that I want it to be, because what I mean by that is that you all are going to make sure that the founder has everything that they need in order to succeed. And I have found that it made me even more excited to want to make sure that I was showing up for you all just as much as you all were showing up for me. And I think as long as you come into the program with that mindset, is that the beautiful thing is going to happen is that you have two people that at least believe in something, because I don't think that your team would have done what they did unless they at least slightly, even the very slightliest, believe that this is something worth that could be potential building. I didn't feel that there was an obligation for me to return a favor, like, hey, later on down the line, this is what we're going to need for you. I didn't feel that at all. And so I think for me as a founder, be genuine with the idea of what you're trying to do and being able to communicate that and be open to changes, open to pivots in your idea, and really be welcoming of anything that you all provide, because if anything, it's going to be with good intentions. And so for me, that would be my advice to any founders. Just be ready to be surprised. You know, when that first email came and it's like, hey, this is the end of the program, I felt sad because I was looking forward to these weeks and these meetings and seeing how everyone's doing. And but I think the final thought is that all great things come to an end, and I've been so excited about this experience, and I have learned so much just in these 4 weeks. And I think that, I'm really excited about where I will be able to go. And I won't be able to not do those things without first thinking about this experience with Melt Studio. Again, I felt like I was traveling with a knapsack, and now I have a suitcase that I can bring with me and show people. And so I am truly and forever grateful and will continue to support you all as I continue to move forward. You're now part of my story. You're part of my legacy.